Hey, it's Peet and Reet at the Falls View Casino in Niagara Falls, and boy, what a showdown. We are pumped tonight.
Oh my gosh, I'm so pumped. I cannot believe we have Jay Leno in the house.
I'm not particularly pumped, but it's I didn't realize that. I'm not sure. Pump must be a Canadian term for something. I'm not sure what it means. I come to Canada and get pumped. That could mean any number of things, so I'll just go with the flow.
You go with the flow.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
Canadian today.
Well, Jim Carrey, my brother,
Right.
who you've had on the show many times.
Oh, you know, we go back to the first days. I remember
I know.
almost when he auditioned at the Comedy Store. Sure.
Yeah, yeah. And he said, I said to him, what should we do if Jay comes on the show? And he goes, I got the perfect thing.
Really?
And he goes, I got the perfect thing.
Yeah.
And our executive producer of
Got
TriStream got together and said, oh yeah, that's perfect.
All right.
So it's a little game show thing,
Oh.
Yes.
and we're going to test you.
All right.
It's called Feel, Guess, and Win.
Feel, guess,
Guess and win.
So feel,
Guess
guess,
and win.
Okay. Okay.
And you're going to win stuff.
So they don't have the harassment laws here in Canada.
No, they
That's like
don't.
feel, guess, and win. You lose your job.
No, here it's
But
okay.
apparently Canada's a little
We're in the
different.
casino, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
All right, so he's going to tell you what you win.
All right. So the first prize is a Peet and Reet
Right.
mug, which is, of course, made of the finest porcelain.
Right.
You can tell it's the finest porcelain
look at that.
ever.
Yeah, very
And it
nice.
has our mugs on the mug.
Yeah.
Our next prize is a fine assortment of Niagara wines.
Oh.
Actually, that is really good.
Yeah, this is the best from culinary. Your Italian half, right?
Yeah, I'm not really a wine drinker, but
No, but
Yeah,
you
this
can
is
keep
great.
it for friends.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. And then your sandwich guy, right? We heard you're a sandwich guy.
Well, I don't know. It's not really a sandwich guy. I mean, it's just basically whatever you like between two pieces of bread. I mean, it's basically food.
Yeah,
So
there's a
yeah.
secret place in Niagara Falls where all the locals go. It's called Frank's Pizzeria. So we have one of
Okay.
those subs.
All right.
And he named it after
Oh,
you.
that's very good.
It's called the J Sub.
Okay.
He named it
thanks.
after you.
Thank you.
And then
Do you like Swiss chalet?
The what?
Swiss chalet,
Swiss chalet.
chicken.
Oh, chicken. I like chicken is good. Yeah. So,
Swiss chalet. They gave us a half a chicken dinner for you. I know
Oh.
you don't eat before a show, but you know what? You can nuke it.
yeah. Okay.
What the heck?
Thanks.
So you ready to play the game?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's play.
We got
Okay, we got categories. All right, categories.
Yeah.
Sharp knives from around the world.
Sharp
And remember your
knife.
feeling. Your
Knives.
feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hot and sticky biohazards. Exotic ringworms. Or car parts.
And now go with something that you know.
All right. Let's take the car part.
All right.
So we're gonna have to blindfold you for this.
All
And we
right.
got a really
Okay.
sexy girl here
All
to do
right.
that.
Okay, all right.
Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay.
I think I've seen him blindfolded on the Tonight Show before.
All right.
Okay. So the first car part is coming up. All you have to do for the Peet and Reet mug is guess
What the car part is.
All right.
All right, here it comes.
We think you should know.
Oh, please. This is the float bowl. This is the fuel pump. Now you open this. You take the glass. And then you clean this out. But this, again, I guess Canada's different. This really hasn't been used in a car since about 1968.
70, yeah, somewhere
I
around
think
there.
It feels,
Very old.
So you won.
it's General Motors. but
So you
yeah.
got the Peet
Okay.
Reet mug.
All right,
I won the mug.
All right,
Electric
now
mug
you
is yours.
could just walk on by and stay with that, or go for something bigger.
Yeah, and win the wine. So you'd have the wine in the cup.
You know, I'd rather the fuel pump than the wine, so I'll go with that. But okay, what's the next one? What do you want me to guess?
All right,
Here you go.
Or another
go for
part?
it. Yep.
Yes, another
Yep.
part. All car parts.
It's got 3 tabs on them. Oh, this is a. Oh, here you go. It's a regulator. It's an electric regulator.
Yes, it is.
You
Woo!
got
2 for
points in- you got
2.
points in
Yep.
there, yeah.
Awesome.
All right, so
All
we're
right.
going to go for the third one? You
Yeah.
could lose it all.
All right,
here we
you're
go.
on a roll.
This is going to be a tough one, Jay. I got to tell you. It's going to be a tough one.
All right.
Make sure you feel that good on the ends. And
These are on Hudson Hornets. This went out in the 50s. This goes over the back of the exhaust pipe to keep it from. When you had lead in the gas, it would sort of corrode the back bumper. So this would force you see your tailpipe ended here, and this would force the
All right.
The exhaust
Yeah,
gases.
so you've got the
You
mug.
got it. You
I
got
got the
3
wine.
things.
All right.
You're
Got
going
the
for
sandwich.
4. The last one is 4.
Now this
All
is
right.
a toughie.
This is a tough one.
This is a tough. You get this one, I'll be shocked.
Okay, you're gonna have to open your hands.
Wide.
Wide. Yeah, there you go. It's heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Okay.
Ah. And this is another thing from the 50s. This is a, before air conditioning was
You can take that
That's a
blindfold
swamp
off.
cooler.
Yeah, woo!
Is it a swamp cooler?
Oh
Yes.
my
Oh,
there you
gosh,
go.
it
Okay.
is!
Wow, this is
Woo!
I've ever done in my life. I can see you're not car people.
I am actually. I love
That was
Mustangs.
pretty
I'll tell you, when I picked that stuff up this morning, I knew everything but.
But that big
No,
thing.
what you do is you put water in that,
Yeah.
and when you went down the road, the cold air, it would blow. It'd
Like
be
air
damp in the
conditioning.
car,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like air, but it was better than
Cold.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I hear that cereal is something that you liked a lot.
Me? No, I'm not a
Yeah,
cereal guy.
in large volumes. Does this ring a bell at all?
Oh, well, that's something we did on the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
I
Oh,
love
and I remember once. I think they dumped a bunch of those on me. or
Flutie
something.
Flakes on you.
Yeah.
I
This
gotta
is-
tell you, it's the only time that I laughed by myself, other than when Jeff Daniels.
Well, thank
did
you. That's
this.
very kind. I watched it over 20 years.
Way to insult
Just
him,
that one
Pete.
time.
Way to
Well, thank you
insult
for that.
him.
Well, what a wonderful.
I meant-
look at the time.
I
He's
meant
out
by
the
Thrilled
door.
myself.
to be here. Okay, go
I
ahead.
meant by myself. The only time I laughed like that was during Dumb and Dumber. Didn't
Well, thank you, thank
you. Anyway, did you know that was coming?
No, I actually didn't know that was coming. That was
So
funny.
Flutie made that happen.
And-
That's
Well, no,
or
I
as
mean,
your people did.
I mean, the show.
Yeah, made it happen.
Flutie didn't come in early and do
Yeah.
it. He doesn't really have the.
And then
the
your
whale.
beeper guy at the end didn't beep out all that you
Right,
called him.
right,
It
right.
was-
No, that was yeah, exactly.
Fantastic.
So I just want to know, what was it like when you found out you were going to be the host of The Tonight Show?
Well, I've been guest hosting for about 5
I know,
years.
you've been doing it for a long time, but actually find out, oh my
Yeah, it
God,
was
I'm
really
it.
exciting. Yeah, it was really exciting. I mean, it's really the only job in show business I ever wanted. I mean, I did a few movies and things. I didn't really like being an actor. I didn't like that whole, okay, that was really funny. All right, let's do it again and
Yeah.
let's make it just as fun.
Make your face
I
different.
like the audience. I like I like the idea of, you write jokes every day. I didn't like a weekly show because then there's just too much pressure. I like the pacing of the Tonight. You just write up until, okay, we're on in 2 minutes. All right, fine, pencils down. You got to go what you have, because if you have the whole week, then you just obsess. It'll never be good enough. So
Yeah.
I always like having that.
Living on the edge.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
energy.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Nice.
I always like live better than.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
we were
for
made,
sure.
Yeah, so. Now, influences? I mean, I know you used to hang around a group, and Letterman was in that group, and guys used to hang around the Comedy Store, all you comedians.
Well, the interesting thing is people think comedy is this terribly cutthroat business, but most comedians get work from other comedians than they ever get from agents or managers, especially when you're starting out. I mean, when I was starting out, I remember Steve Martin used to bring Carson in to see me, and he passed on me one time. Oh no, you got to go see him again. And he brought him in, and when I saw Ellen DeGeneres, I told Johnny, I said, oh, you got to see this girl, Ellen DeGeneres. She's really funny. Oh, and he came in, he saw her. So I mean, that's pretty much the way it works, because you can't do every gig. I mean, if you play Roy Thompson Hall once, well, you can't play it again tomorrow.
No.
So I would say, Jim, you should, or whoever it might be, so it's a pretty close-knit community. I mean, there's obviously sometimes people steal somebody's
Jealousies,
jokes, and
yeah.
but you have that in anything. But for the most part, I think it's no different than it would be in the insurance business, because in any other job, you have all the people aiming for one job. Comedy is subjective. I could think you're funny, but you're not. The people that like me and don't like him, or vice versa. So consequently, everyone just finds their own audience. So it was actually very nice. It's always
So
comedy.
who'd you look up to?
When I was a kid, I mean, I always liked Cosby. I liked Richard Pryor. I liked those guys. But for me, Robert Klein was sort of the guy for me, because Robert Klein was a middle-class kid. Because when I was young, most of the comedians came out of the Depression era.
Yeah.
It was Rodney Dangerfield. They all came from the Lower East Side of New York. They were all Jewish. We were so poor we didn't have this and that. It was all that. And we weren't rich, but we were just a regular family. And then Robert Klein came along, and I think he's about 8 or 9 years older than me. So consequently, all his points of reference I mean, he wasn't, you know, like when you heard the older comedians, these kids today with the long hair, you know, and whereas Klein would do a bit about The Who or whatever the contemporary music was at the time. So, oh, I got it, and my parents didn't get it. Whereas before, my parents would get it, and I would get it because I like comedy, but it didn't talk to me.
Right.
Carlin, too. Carlin was the same way.
I was just going to say
Suddenly
that,
Carlin
George
came
Carlin.
along, and he was saying the things that the people in my group were talking about, you know. So he was a big influence. There were a lot of them, but probably Carlin, Pryor, and Klein.
Nice. So what was a typical day for you when you were doing The Tonight Show? I know you do like 200 shows a year, comedy clubs.
Well, I mean,
you
The
do
Tonight Show was
charities.
You get,
What was a typical day? Did you get up at like 4 in the morning? Like, I don't know
no,
how you fit it all in.
I mean, the real trick was to try and have half the monologue done before you went to bed. That was sort of the key, because things change. You have an airline piece, and then, oh my God, there was a crash. Yeah. Or,
Right.
you know, when times are serious, you do silly stuff. When times are silly, you can do serious stuff. You know, the hardest times are always after 9/11, after the Oklahoma bombing, after some terrible plane crash. You know, you had to sort of, I remember after 9/11, we went about 6 weeks, and I told the joke, and it didn't get a big laugh, and I said to the audience, you know, if you don't laugh at that, it means the terrorists have won. And then they laughed because that was, okay, we can sort of move on a little bit now.
Yeah.
That's always the trickiest part, but I usually got to the office by 8 o'clock, and I had half the monologue done, so I would just augment it. I keep adding jokes to it throughout the day. And then we'd tape from initially 5 o'clock, then from 4 to 5, and then you'd be a meeting, and then I go home and I do the monologue from 8 o'clock to maybe 11:30 or midnight. I try to get as much of it done as I could, and then add, you know, the next day add to it. Because when you have to do it from scratch every day, with all the other stuff that goes on, it was a little too much. So you try to have half done.
And you shot live at what? It was 5 o'clock?
Well, it's what they call live to tape.
Yeah.
We'd shoot it at 5 o'clock, and then you'd show it at 8:30 our time back east, which would be 11:30. And of course, if somebody swore, there was some edit that had to be taken out, whatever. I mean, that would be done. You know, you clean it up a bit. But for the most part, it was live to tape.
So do you miss it? Do you miss doing the
Well,
show?
no, I enjoyed doing it while I did it. I'm one of those people, I live in the moment. I mean, I liked it. There was a great, you know, the Enquirer had a picture of me, and somewhere I was looking through a fence, and they had a picture of like, every Jay Leno goes to the fence and looks through. and I had this whole story. I mean, it just made me laugh. It's so stupid. But I just thought it was kind of funny. But no, I loved it when I did it. When it's over, it's over. You know, when you're 40 and you're talking to the 26-year-old supermodel, it's sexy. When you're 65, you're the creepy old guy, okay? I mean, at this point, I shouldn't have to know all of Jay-Z's music and, you know, and that hip-hop album. I really love, you know, the Slap the Bitch Up the Head. I like that song.
I don't even know that now.
You know, I mean, it doesn't, so at some point you go, okay, it's like being an athlete. You have your best years, but at some point, okay, it's time. And the real trick is, the one thing people don't seem to get is everybody that's done the show handed it off when it was #1. It was #1 when Steve Allen gave it to Parr, #1 Parr gave it to Carson, #1 Carson gave it to me. It was #1 when I gave it to Jimmy. I mean, if you wait until you drop down to second or third play, now it's a desperate. I mean, you hand it over while it's still hot. Okay, here you go. And Jimmy's done a great job. I mean, he brings a whole new dynamic.
A young
you know,
dynamic
and
to
the
it.
music and, you know, the music parodies he does. No, I mean,
That's
I think
hilarious.
he's just great. He's
But
probably more like Carson than anybody else.
But by far, we love what you did.
Well, thank you.
We really
Well,
do.
that's
Because
great.
I grew up with that.
Right.
I mean,
No,
I grew
I
up
got
watching
You
you.
and Carson.
Well, it was a different
Yeah.
time because then people tuned into the monologue to hear what you had to say. Now people go to viral videos. And
Yes,
one is
exactly.
not better or worse than the other. It's just different, you know. So
Well, the weird thing is, Carson left in '92, which was when you started, right? Then you finished in 2009 and came back in 2010. And I didn't realize it was only a couple of years ago, 2014, February, I believe, right?
Yeah.
That you left.
Right.
And it seems like so long.
it does seem like so long. But
We miss
and
you.
that's
Well, I mean, you're right. We do. I mean, I love Jimmy, what he's doing. I like his
yeah.
new
But I
his
like
new
being a
attitudes.
stand-up. I mean, there's no more fun than being a stand-up. It's
Yeah?
what
Why? Why is that so much fun for you?
Well, because you don't, to do a TV show, you need literally hundreds of people. Or to do a movie, you can be great, but the director sucks, or the advertising is wrong, it came out. There's so many other things. When you just tell a joke, it gets a laugh or it doesn't, and then you move on.
Yeah.
You know?
Instant gratification.
When you do the Tonight Show, you do different material in the same place every night. When you go on the road, you do the same material in a different place every night. And the advantage of one to the other is, like a lot of times, let's say whatever the story was, you do a joke about it Monday night. And then after the show, you go, oh man, I got a better joke right here. Well, you can't, I mean, you can't go back and it's
done.
But on the road, I can try it out Monday, tweak it, change it, shorten it up, and then and by the time Saturday comes, oh, I have a new piece of material.
And
so,
you can bag of tricks in case somebody's heckling and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And that adds fun to it.
And plus, it's just fun being, you just go by yourself. I mean, it's the most basic form of, with the exception of amplification of your voice with a microphone, it hasn't changed in 1,000 years. You stand in the town square and you talk to people.
I got to ask you one thing, because I'm doing my first Yuck Yuck show.
Are you doing
June
a stand-up
2nd.
show?
I'm doing a stand-up show, which is, basically, it's called Carry On. It's about my life.
Okay.
So it's comedy and music that I grew up with.
Okay.
And it's sad stories, but it's also comedy. So what one thing would you tell me not to do or to do?
Don't bring your friends.
Okay.
No, do it for strangers. Because friends either go like this. Or they go, yeah, right. Yeah, you remember the time? You don't get any respect. Strangers, it's the only time in life when strangers are actually better than friends. Because then you find out when they're strangers. Because nothing worse. Well, like when I first started, my high school buddy, hey, Leno, you tell about Miss Sammer's class. You know, they don't. You know, you're not getting any
Now
respect.
I know why Jim always stuck us in the back of the room.
Well, that's no, but it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Because they don't look at it with the same eye that a stranger would. You know.
Yeah.
All right, he's got a big show to do tonight. He's got to get moving here.
No, I want one last question.
I got a few minutes.
What if you only got to keep one car in
Oh, I
your
don't
life?
know. I don't
What
know.
would it be?
Well, I don't know.
I know you could, no, but one car.
Yeah,
The
one. You can
world
only
was
have one.
collapsing and you could only keep one and that was going to be safe. What would
Well,
it
if
be?
the world was collapsing, it's hard to believe they'd come to me and go, look, the world's collapsing.
No,
you
you.
can only keep. It
What-
seems like there would be other problems, maybe
What-
saving
what
children
one
or
thing are you
no,
driving?
let's go to Leno and see what car the world is. You know, if the world is collapsing, you're really not going to be driving around much anyway. So it's
I just
not,
need to know. For me, it would be a Mustang.
Okay, a Mustang is very nice. And why a Mustang? What year?
I have a 2005.
Oh, you mean a new Mustang?
Yeah, but it's retro looking and it's cream. To me, it's cream.
What about a 75 vet? I got one of those.
75 is a bad year.
See, there you go.
That's the 180 horsepower.
And we need
It's
an
not
invite to your garage. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Actually, we saw it inside your garage. We were going to see Steven Tyler a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
He was
okay.
here, right?
Yeah.
And some guy who was a Handles talent had a video, and he was sitting in your
Inside your
golf
Well, all you
garage.
have to do is go to jaylenosgarage.com and there's
Yeah.
1,000 videos.
Well, I guess we should bring the mayor in before we're completely out of time.
yes.
Oh, the mayor's
Because
here.
we cannot have you here without actually presenting you with something
Oh,
from the
that's-
city.
That's very kind. That's
Okay.
very-
Okay.
Jim Giordani.
So this is Mayor Jim Giordani.
Well, how are you, sir?
Welcome.
Thank you. What do I have
Pleasure.
there? Oh, good heavens, look at that.
Welcome to the world's most famous address.
Yes.
And I do want to tell you, about 9 years ago, I was in Vegas.
Yeah.
All the acts I could have went to see, I only chose one, and I went to see you.
Oh, well, that's very kind.
Yes.
Thank you.
This is a small gift on behalf of
Oh,
the
that's
city of
beautiful.
Niagara Falls.
Okay, there you
Beautiful
go.
picture of Niagara Falls.
I'm guessing that's Niagara Falls?
Or it's a really big bathtub. I'm not
No,
sure.
well, that's beautiful. I will hang on my wall. Well, thank you.
We
That's
like
very
to call it
kind.
the world's most famous address.
Yes,
and,
yes.
And of course, I've got a beautiful pin of Niagara Falls. And if
Oh,
you
there you
wear
go.
that, as long as you wear that in town, you won't be paying any property taxes.
Oh, there you go.
I have one of those.
Wow. Yeah, wait a
I only
minute.
have one. That's all I have. Well, thanks
Well,
for being
thank you.
here,
Apparently a
Jay.
very slow day in politics today. I'm over here to... Well, thank you. That's very,
Right, listen, this is,
well, that's very
this
nice.
is your mug. You actually won
Oh,
it.
God, I couldn't take
Yeah.
it.
And we signed it.
Oh, yeah. Do you have any unsigned ones? I'm curious. Okay, no, that's
Yes.
very nice.
So glad we invited
Jay,
you.
thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
coming
thank you.
and doing
I was
this.
sweating bullets during that quiz. But thanks, you guys.
Thanks
You know
so
what?
much for doing that.
Unbelievable on the quiz.
Thank
I
you,
thought
guys.
for sure we had you with
Oh,
what's it
with
called
the big
again?
It's called a swamp cooler.
Swamp
See,
cooler.
it doesn't get that hot up here, but in Arizona and those work best in like a dry heat, because then it just kind of
See, now we
it's
know.
like a cool mist. But you'd roll your window up. The trouble is you go down the road and you go and then you roll down the window and the thing
Would it get a little humid in
would
there?
clang along the highway. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
thanks, you guys. I realize.
Thank you so much.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
And
Do I
thanks for
leave or do I sit here?
You can sit here.
Yeah.
I'll hug
And
you.
now, what do you do? What do you do now? You.
Come in and see Jay Leno and us, Peet Reet on the Peet Reet Show. We'll see you next time. God bless.